Hello, dear friends. I thought a good question today would be asking ourselves how to reclaim our power, our true power, not the power that we, take on as a separate sense of self, but the power that we are. There's there's really nothing to take back or reclaim in one way if we hadn't given it away and keep giving it away and keep giving it away. And we do that only because we do not know who we are as our soul, as our essence, as our true soul connection. We have forgotten. We have turned away from it too long. And now it just seems like, some kind of a fancy thing we can talk about, and we can read books about it, and we can talk about it. We can meet at a cafe and, talk about the our essence, the spirituality, and that's all fine. There's definitely a time and a place for that. But at a certain point, we just need to start owning that power again. And that's where a lot of the deeper work starts, of course, because then we need to start really becoming aware of all these layers and structures that have been covering it, that made us unable to really realize who we are. We keep looking at the at the layers, at the distortions. It's like you probably have heard, like the wind, looking through the car and a windshield. And if there's some smear on it, then you're not seeing what is really there. And that is literally what is happening. Like, a bird dropping has smeared our view and our vision, and we simply cannot see what is here. And it is really like we cannot see it because we're so focused on the bird poop. And we everything looks like, I don't need to say the word here, but you know what I mean. And that's because there is this mirror in front of us that makes it so that we don't have what it takes consciously. We don't consciously have what it takes because we do have what it takes, but it's not realized yet. We're not aware of it. So we need something that helps us just go inside and start looking for something that we are not able to see, hear, taste, touch, smell with our five senses. It's a different sense, it's a different mechanism of exploring who we are, of inquiring within who and what we are. So today I want to just offer a very, very simple little turning inside. I did that just last week when we had our monthly gathering. And I just feel moved to share it here with the greater circle because it is so simple, and we can do it at any moment when we remember it, like when we're not looking at the smear on our windshield. Well, we can go like, oh, let me just pull back from what I'm observing right now. So if you're able to right now, of course, if you're driving or doing something, don't do it. Do it later. But if you're able to, drop any multitasking that you probably are doing, maybe we all do that. And right now, if possible, just put things aside and let's just do just a little dipping in and getting a sense of who and what we are and where we are. So we can eventually start taking back that presence, which is the power. It is who and what we are. It is simply the power mechanism behind everything that we experience. So why not put our attention there for a moment and make that our new best friend? So why don't you just close your eyes? You need to close them. That's actually important for this little exercise. So just close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath. Let yourself arrive right here and right now. And to the best of your ability, just notice your breath. It's a wonderful way that we can just simplify our experience and just focus on one thing, which is happening all the time. Just noticing your in-breath, belly expanding, and the out-breath, where the belly just relaxes back into neutral position. And if you want to, enjoy the next breath, see if you can just maybe put a little smile on your face and just enjoy the fact that you're taking a conscious breath. Just feel how your whole body receives that. And that it's okay to relax right now. There's nothing that you need to do or figure out. We're just gonna look at something that we normally don't look at. So now, on your next in-breath and out-breath, just let yourself notice that behind your eyelids, it's like you're looking into something. There's nothing really there, but just let yourself look into the space when your eyes are closed. Just look and notice that there's darkness, there is really nothing there, depending on what kind of lighting you are in right now. If you're in bright sunlight, you might notice that there is a kind of a glow, a red or a golden or white glow that you're looking into, and that's totally fine. It's not like supposed to be a certain way. It's just really letting yourself look at something that you never consciously look at. And that is just with your eyes closed, letting your vision look into the darkness or into the space. You're just looking right into it. And right now you're doing it in a conscious way. You just let yourself look. Don't try and look for anything. We're not doing anything other than just allowing your eyes to look into whatever they're looking into right now. And if you kind of maybe let your eyes look around a little bit to the left, to the right, up, down, you'll notice that there's really nothing there, but there is something there. It's not something you can describe. other than maybe space. You're looking into a dark or colored space, and try not to figure it out or make sense of it. This is just simply looking into what we could call space. We can say, hello, space. There is actually something here. There is something that seems vast everywhere, right? If you look up or down or to the sides, it's everywhere, right? You could just let your eyes trace around, still eyes closed, because we don't want to have anything to look at with our vision. We're just looking from behind our eyes into this space or darkness or nothingness. Just let yourself take it in, whatever that means to you. It's just let it be there, and you can open up to it. Maybe open your awareness, your heart, just with a slight sense of curiosity as you're noticing that there is something there that you may never really have paid attention to. So just see if you can stay open to that. And I'm just going to share with you that this space is the divine. If you like the word God, this space, this darkness or lightness, however you experience it, there's no right or wrong. Seriously, there's just this. This is God. This is how close the divine is to you, to me, everybody, because it is everywhere. Anybody who closes their eyes for a moment and just looks into this space will have the same experience, maybe a little different, but they'll notice that there is something here, and I normally don't pay attention to it. This is how close the divine is to you, to me. You may have heard the term closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. That is the divine. That is how close God is to you. And in a way, all we need to do if we forget, we can just close our eyes. Yeah, we can just close our eyes and just look into this void or this space. And there it is. Now, I know that most of us, we don't really know what it is yet. You might say, well, that's easy for you to say, Pernilla. But the more time you spend doing this simple little exercise, and let yourself open up with a curiosity, with a willingness to learn, to receive. Because where else could God be? We have heard that God is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, right? Everywhere, all knowing, all power. So it's just that when we stop moving away from it like we do all the time, and just come back here and find where our true power is. And how we can just dip into that as often as we want and open up to it. Let it show us. Let it show you what it is. This is when we enter into true prayer, where we just notice that this space, this presence that we don't know what is, but it's everywhere. And now that we're connected with it more consciously, this is a much better place to say, okay, show me what is true, what or who I am. What is this space? This is where we can really open up to receiving the answers from this space. And where else could it come from? So let's take a nice breath into the space if you want, or from the space. You can breathe in, you can let the breath consciously come from the space, and let yourself receive it. Let it communicate with you. And then we can slowly start coming back. And with the next breath or two, you can open up your eyes again. And notice it's just because we open our eyes and then we see things, right? We see things that are happening in our minds. It's as if it's covering this space. But we can just close again. It's like, oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. And then eventually you'll start noticing that you can actually tune into that even with your eyes open. That you don't have to go into, the chamber, meditative chamber, although you certainly can. But you can start noticing, like, oh, just close your eyes if you need to. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. So this space, it's inside, it's outside, it's everywhere. There is no place where it is not. And we can consciously, during the day, keep opening up to this field. This is the field that Rumi also talks about. We can call this the heaven on earth. This is what so many talk about, and it is so close and so simple and available to us at any moment. We just need to go there. And then, of course, we will become aware of all the layers we have built around it so that we are not really consciously interacting and communing with it and not letting ourselves be guided by it. So the layers, that is the work we need to do, is to meet them, um, help them dissolve, see through them. That's all the deeper work that we all have to do at some point, and maybe for a long time, because there's many, many layers. I have done this work for a very long time. And lately, again, there are some deep layers of this, universal programming that we have just lived as if that's true. And in that, we are giving away our true power. So if we want to take back our power, our divine power, this is it. This is it. Now it's just opening up to it and waiting and letting it show us what it is, or what we are, or what I am, the I am that you call yourself all day long. So this is just a gentle little meditation to really start connecting with that presence and that power and that wisdom that we are, and start owning it again. It's like that's when we take back what we have turned away from. And we can't give it away, but we can pretend it's not there. And then of course, that's when we feel powerless and alone, and all the things that we feel because of all these layers, these structures that we have accepted as real. You can go back to this little short meditation at any time. It's one that I learned from Joel Goldsmith's teachings many years ago, and it's just a sweet, simple one where you go like, oh, it's right here. Oh my God, it's right here all the time. So you can just come back to it and start making yourself more available for that. So please spend some time there. Let that become your source of wisdom and of power and of presence, because it already is. It's just that we need to make ourselves available for it again. Please comment below. I'd love to hear how this lands for you. And please share if you know anybody else who might benefit from looking into God. And and enjoy. Have a wonderful time with it. Until we meet again soon. Thank you.